Arsenal and Liverpool. Big game that is obviously going to be played at what we call the big game at what you're obviously going to be big game. It's obviously going to be played at the Anfield, as you see there. The Anfield capacitates 61,276. And I would like to bring you up to speed and really let you know that they really went ahead to obviously work onto the enlargement of their stadium. And last season, that's when it obviously reached that capacity of 61,276. As the Emirates capacitates 60,700 something, meaning that the Anfield is some 600 seats, more than the Emirates. And obviously, we know what really happens that side. Arsenal has always gone ahead to go that side. And I think in the previous 2 seasons, Arsenal haven't obviously gone ahead to go there and lost a game. Arsenal have come up and obviously put in a very huge shift in there for you. And they've done the due diligence. And no one has stopped the club of Arsenal from really doing the needful. And in this season, particularly, Arsenal has really put in a very huge shift, I tell you. The shift that Arsenal has gone ahead to put in is really great. Arsenal comes into this game of football after beating Leeds by 5-0, and Liverpool comes into this league game when they've gone ahead to obviously beat a side called I think they beat Newcastle, right? They beat Newcastle by... Liverpool went ahead to beat Newcastle, right? By 3-2. And it's Rio's late winner that really gave the side of... Arsenal the side of Liverpool that required win in there for you. And remember, in that game, Newcastle were a man down for close to 60 minutes, and Liverpool couldn't obviously break them down. And Liverpool took a 2-goal lead, and after taking a 2-goal lead, Liverpool had to concede 2 goals from the side of Newcastle. And guess what? Newcastle came up and obviously gave them a beating. And Liverpool went ahead to obviously survive that by really scoring a late winner in the extra time that was really added. So when you look at all those factors and you combine them together, they send a message to the side of Arsenal that it's not obviously gonna be an easy game at the Anfield, because that affair was played away at the St. James's Park. But one Arsenal fan will come out and really tell you, Rokani, let me bring you up to speed. Even when Liverpool played their first game of the season at the Anfield, they really went ahead to find themselves in a position of really being leveled up by Bournemouth. And again, Liverpool had taken a 2-goal lead, and Bournemouth came in through and leveled. And it was Mohamed Salah and Federico Chiesa that went ahead to obviously score the 2 goals in the dying minutes. And literally, in the last 2 games of Liverpool, they've gone ahead to play this season in the Premier League. They've gone ahead to get the winner in the dying minutes. And if you are really a very good analyst and a person who digests stats and such information, you feel like if they've gone ahead to obviously act like that against those teams that are not near anywhere, the strength of Arsenal, it really screams danger to the fans of Liverpool, and you're obviously coming in through to host a side known as Arsenal, and you know what Arsenal can do on that particular day. So as it stands, the side of Arsenal might obviously capitalize onto that, and there is another start that Arsenal fans might obviously come in through and capitalize onto that, and the start is, for the 3 competitive games that Liverpool has gone ahead to play this season, Liverpool have found themselves in a position of conceding an average of 2 goals per game. And let me list you these games. The first game is all about the Community Shield. Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Liverpool conceded 2 goals from Crystal Palace. They drew 2-2 and they went to penalties and they lost. Now, in the Premier League opener, it was Anthony Semenyo who went ahead to obviously bag a brace. And in the game of Newcastle, they went ahead to concede 2 goals in the fight. I think Sula and Bruno Gyokeres went ahead to obviously put in those 2 goals at the back of the net. So if you're adding dots and you're really an Arsenal fan, this can obviously paint a very clear-cut image, that all crystal clear image that Arsenal can obviously go there and shock Liverpool for the very first time, because most of the time you've gone ahead to see Arsenal take a lead and Liverpool has gone ahead to fight back and see to it that they've gone ahead to force a draw. You understand? Now, in this particular fixture, Liverpool is facing a side that hasn't gone ahead to concede a goal in the Premier League. For the 2 games that Arsenal have gone ahead to play in the Premier League, their first game, they went ahead to play a side called Manchester United, and they got a 1-0 win away at Old Trafford. When they came to Emirates Stadium, they beat Leeds by 5-0. And no doubt, you can't even argue about it that Arsenal has the best central defense in the world. That is it, and I tell you, they have all what it takes to go at Liverpool at Anfield and really defend better and look as a team that really wants to collect 3 points. These 2 teams, I think, are the only few that have gone ahead obviously collect maximum points, and it's Arsenal, Liverpool, and I think even Spursy, by the time they hadn't obviously gone ahead to play yesterday, and after the 90 minutes and when the 90 minutes came to an end, you know what happened. Spurs had been beaten, and they had been beaten by Bournemouth, 1-0 loss in there for you. So Bournemouth went ahead to go away in London and beat Spurs. And what does that mean? It means that we now have only 2 teams that have gone ahead to collect maximum points in their first 2 games. And now we are waiting to see how Liverpool comes to this, and Arsenal. Whoever wins goes on top of the table. That is it. As we speak now, Chelsea is on top of the table with 7 points, right? And we are waiting to see how things really pan out into the mix. So that's exactly how the side of Arsenal has obviously gone ahead to fare. And if at all you are an Arsenal fan, you have every reason to obviously come up and obviously feel like you have all the reasons to worry about this side of Liverpool. Because, if at all you're a Liverpool fan, you have all the reasons to worry about this side of Arsenal, as they've gone ahead to obviously capitalize onto what they call not really conceding goals. And they really defend very well, and the coming in of Victor Gyokeres obviously goes ahead to strengthen them in as far as killing off chances is really concerned. And I really tell you, this club of Arsenal is really going to put in a very huge shift at the Anfield, and they're really coming into this season as the preferred favorites. Obviously, see to it that everything really moves on as planned. Now, let's go to the team news, because I think I've gone ahead obviously talk a lot about this. The team news reads: Liverpool's defensive indiscipline can be partially attributed to Ryan Gravenberch and Alex McAllister not starting a game together yet this season, but the latter is back in training after missing the Newcastle clash and is on track to be available. We are talking about Alexis McAllister, and Alexis McAllister is really one of the big misses into that Liverpool side. And if you know what he brings onto the table in that midfield, he really brings a lot. Pace, patience, creativity, intensity, hard work, mentality. He brings a lot to the side of Liverpool in that midfield. We've been told that as a result, the Reds' only absentee for the visit of the Gunners is new signing Jeremy Frimpong with a hamstring injury. That means Liverpool are really going to be missing out on Frimpong only. So Basley held his own as a makeshift right back against Newcastle, but Connor Bradley is an alternative option. So in the game that Liverpool went ahead to play against Newcastle, they really played Szoboszlai as a right back. And I don't know whether the manager can obviously risk this and obviously play Szoboszlai as a right back when they're really taking on Arsenal, because Arsenal can obviously maneuver that outlet, and really cause problems to the side of Newcastle to the fullest. Now, we've been told Arsenal are not having Bukayo Saka, who is having a hamstring injury. Kai Havertz is having an injury. Captain Martin Odegaard is also out because we went ahead obviously get what we call a shoulder problem. But all those are really out. And what Arsenal fans should obviously come and jubilate about this season is that even when they are not having those 4 players plus Gabriel Jesus, who are really pivotal into what Arsenal is supposed to be achieving this season, you know what is really happening. You are not feeling the void because Arsenal has gone ahead to sign in and really bring in some good players, and those players are really doing the best of the best to see to either obviously achieve what they really want. So Arsenal is going to sign in players, and those players have really given them a very good go into what they are supposed to be achieving into this season. And Gabriel Jesus is also out with what we call an ACL injury. Ben White is having a knock. Nogard is having a knock. Trossard is back, and I know he'll be part of the squad. But Ben White, Nogard, Jesus, they are really out. You understand? And obviously, Eberechi Eze is up to obviously do the needful. Noni Madueke is in, and this is what really makes Arsenal a particular special kind of team altogether, because they have all what it takes to come in through and really put in a shift that is really well required into this particular game of football. So I've gone ahead to give you the team news for all those teams, and now what is left, heading into what we call the probable starting 11 for these particular 2 teams that are really going to be facing off into the mix. Now, we are really having a system of 4-3-3 that Arsenal is obviously going to deploy at Anfield. I really feel so. And my mind tells me that I had 2 thoughts before I really went into this probable starting 11. You know what? But I've finally gone ahead, obviously, make up my mind, and I'm like, the manager, what is he obviously going to be doing? Because if you're really putting in a very good makeshift of this beautiful game of football that Arsenal is obviously going to be taking on Liverpool, you ask how the midfield is obviously going to be looking. You understand? But I think Arteta won't obviously shy away, because in the previous past, he has gone with Partey, Declan Rice, and a player called Martin Odegaard in the midfield 3. Now with Martin Odegaard out, no Thomas Partey, how do we expect this manager to obviously come in through? In goal, no doubt, it's obviously going to be a man known as Kepa. No, it's obviously going to be David Raya. He's obviously going to be playing in between the stitches for the side of Arsenal. That is David Raya for you. He's obviously going to take on that side. Then, right back, I think it's going to be Julian Timber to play as a right back. Man in form, came on and scored a brace as Arsenal was really displaying a side on as Newcastle. Then the left back, Lewis Kelly and Calafiori. I've always told people that Calafiori is a better left back than Lewis Kelly, and Arsenal fans have always gone ahead to say, no, you are really lying. It's not that, but I want to let you know that it's Calafiori to play as a left back for the side of Arsenal in this particular fixture. I tell you, it's obviously Calafiori to really do that huge job in there for you, because Lewis Kelly is really good, but I think the manager is really trying to really manage the minutes, and he knows exactly what it means to be playing for the side of Arsenal and the pressure it comes up with. So what the manager is really doing is really the best. He's like, I'm not obviously gonna really put this player in this beginning game. So he knows to it that there is a time when Arsenal will need Lewis Kelly, and he's like, let me use Ricardo Calafiori when he's really readily available, as he's an injury prone player, and by the time he's injury proneness kicks in, the manager will be like, all right, now Lewis Kelly can obviously come in through. But the good thing is that Lewis Kelly is not really sidelined or is not obviously getting in minutes. Skelly is getting in minutes off the bench, and we all know that, and that's what we should obviously come and really hail the manager about, all of. So that is Ricardo Calafiori to come in through and really put in a shift. Right-sided centre-back, William Saliba. No doubt about that. The lad is that special. And Saliba will obviously come in through to do the job. Left-sided centre-back, Jakub Kivio, moving to FC Porto. Obviously, the club of Arsenal finds themselves in a proper position to see to it that they really get in a very huge boost of a guy called Gabriel Magalhaes to come in through and really put in there as Hankapi. Here we go, was really announced. And after this video, I'll obviously come up and really do that Hankapi so-called big story. So that is my back five for the club of Arsenal, and that's how I really think they will line up in this particular fixture as they really get hosted by the side of Liverpool. Now, in the central midfield, this is where we obviously have a constant of Martin Zubimendi. He's obviously going to be coming in through and really putting in a very huge shift. He's settling in very well, and he's obviously going to be getting what we call a very huge test. And remember, he's a player that Liverpool really wanted, and I really expect those chants from the Liverpool fans, and they will be really booing him every time he really gets the ball, because he had agreed everything with Liverpool, and from nowhere, he really said, I'm staying at Real Sociedad. And we have allegations coming in through from Spain indicating that it's Mikel Arteta who told Zubimendi that, please, I want to obviously bring you and Mikel Merino to the club. So we can't get you in this season, but can you really play one more season with Real Sociedad and obviously join us? That is it. So those are really allegations, but they are not yet approved. But one day, one time, we'll obviously get to know whether they are really right. But Liverpool fans are really going to be very hostile at Martin Zubimendi. And I want to be really shocked every time he really gets hold of that ball and he really gets those boos in there for you. Then, alongside who? Alongside Declan Rice. You understand? So, alongside Declan Rice into that midfield. For Declan Rice, you know his role. Declan Rice has gone ahead to obviously look in as one of those players that has gone ahead to come in through and really put in a very good shift when it comes to interceptions, blocks, and covering huge spaces and connecting the midfield to the attack. He's one of the very best box-to-box midfielders that I've gone ahead to see, and he doesn't shy away from his role of really intercepting, putting in checkmates, and obviously trying to really be that player that can really win big games. He's really one of those players that I think always comes in through and represents, especially when big games really show up. Last season, you remember him in that game of Real Madrid, I think he was really very pivotal, and in all those set pieces they scored against Manchester United, Declan Rice was really very pivotal. So in set pieces, he's really one of those players that really delivers them very, very well. Then, guess who is obviously going to be coming in through when Martin Odegaard is not really representing for the club of Arsenal? We all know that there are two options now. There is the option of a player called Eberechi, and there is another option of a player called what's his name? And there is another option of a player called Ethan Nwaneri. So, of the two, who do you think will obviously come in through? I really think that, oh, Hero, how are you? How are you, Hero? Hope you're really doing fine. I've been lost. I've told people, Uganda has always had problems with power. And I think for the past 2 days, power has been really off in very many parts of the country. But I'm finally back. So there is Ethan Nwaneri and Eberechi. And I do think with two games of full 90 minutes in his legs, that is Eberechi against Liverpool in the Community Shield, and a game of Chelsea, I think he's ready to go to play. And by the way, in such a game of football, there is no way you can obviously trust Ethan Nwaneri to start a game of football like this, because all you need is a player who has ever gone ahead to come at Anfield and really put in a very huge record shift, and that is the guy. And that is the guy. If you're to talk about the name, it's Eberechi. He has the experience playing at a side called Anfield. He's not going to be timid really playing there, because he has been there several times. Ever since he came in through at Crystal Palace, Eberechi has been playing at Anfield, and he's one of those players that has gone ahead to torment the side of Liverpool a lot, if you've been following up those games of Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. And guess what? He came in through there in 2020, And he has been there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For 5 seasons, he has been there and he has represented to the fullest. And he knows what it means to be playing at Anfield with that hostile crowd that they really do have. So he knows everything in there. So I choose Eze to start in the midfield 3 to take over the Martin Odegaard role as soon as possible. Right forward with Bukayo Saka injured, having a hamstring injury. I think there is Max Dorman. You can hint about him. You can hint about Ethan Nwaneri. And you can also talk about a player called Noni Madueke. If you watched the game of Leeds, Max Dorman came off the bench and represented to the fullest and got us a penalty that saw Victor Gyokeres bag a brace on that particular beautiful kind of game. But guess what? Things have gone ahead to change and a lot of things are going to turn around. And I think it's not Max Dorman. I've gone ahead to see some Arsenal fans saying that, please get in Max Dorman. And I was like, who does that? Who does that? You want to really destroy the career of this young lad. You understand? And I'm like, people are really, 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 really very, very jealousy for the talent of this lad, because I don't see how you obviously tell me that you really get in this lad in there and really start him a game at Anfield. And even coming off the bench to feature, I think will depend on the results. You understand? That is it. I think Noni Madueke comes in through to play as a right forward in this particular fixture for the side of Liverpool versus Arsenal. And I know he really has all what it takes to obviously frustrate the left back known as Gyokeres of Liverpool, because he's really special. And I think this time round, he's obviously going to be played into his perfect position. As for the game of Leeds, you saw where they started playing him at. He was played at the left forward position. That's where he was played. And when Saka got injured, he was taken to the right forward. And that's when we saw how good he is, how elusive he is, how electric he is, and how he roasted defenders, sat them down, and he really almost went ahead to obviously bag himself an assist and a goal. That is Noni Madueke for you. So from there, let's obviously go to the left. And on the left, I really see Gabriel Martinelli. Trossard is there, but I see Gabriel Martinelli. Why Gabriel Martinelli? The style of play that the manager is obviously going to be using in this particular fixture. I really anticipate that the gaffer of Arsenal, that is Mikel Arteta, is going to rely so much onto the pace of Martinelli, Gyokeres, and Noni Madueke, as he'll respect Liverpool and will plan to hit them on the break. I don't think that he'll obviously come in through to say, let me go and outpossess Liverpool. Expect a style of play like that you saw at Manchester United, though this time round, both teams will obviously have something to lose. You understand? When Arsenal went to Manchester United, Arsenal was the team to lose. Was the team that really had something to lose. Because if Arsenal dropped a point or really got beaten by Man United, it would have gone ahead to make news. But if Man United went in there and really put in a shift, and Arsenal really got 3 points, that's what everyone really wanted. But the game of Liverpool and the game of Arsenal are really two different kind of games altogether, and the approaches might really differ to the fullest. Leading the line, it's Victor Gyokeres, who has 2 goals in how many games? In 2 Premier League encounters in there for you. So that is how I anticipate Arsenal will line up this evening, as they obviously take on a side known as Liverpool at the Emirates. Are we together? Right? Now, let's go to Liverpool. How do we expect Liverpool to obviously line up? For Liverpool, Alisson Becker in goal, Bradley right back, left back Gyokeres, central defense Konate and Virgil van Dijk. That is it. Then Gravenberch, Soboslai, and Wits in the midfield 3. Then leading the line, it's gonna be Ekitike, Salah, and Cody Gakpo. That is it. Cody Gakpo has just gone ahead to obviously extend his contract at Liverpool. You understand? He came in through in the January transfer window of 2023, and so far he feels like this is the right place for him to be. And when I really read out that starting 11 of Liverpool that is really probable, we obviously get into the battles that we anticipate this game of football. Ricardo Carafiori versus Salah. Who will win it? We wait and see. Cody Gakpo or Florian Wirtz versus Julian Timber. Who will win it? You know, Cody Gakpo and Julian Timber all coming in from the same country, that is Netherlands. Then Ekitike, who has gone ahead to obviously score 2 goals in the Premier League and really has an assist, is obviously going to be battling Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. That is it. So the midfield 3 of Zubimendi, Eze, and Declan Rice will obviously be facing off the midfield 3 of Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and Cody Gakpo in there for you. So those 3 are really going to be facing one another like that. You understand? So who will win that midfield battle? I don't know. Noni Madueke versus Gyokeres. Who wins that battle? We wait and see. Martinelli versus Conor Bradley. Another one to watch in. And obviously Virgil van Dijk and Konate taking on a player known as Victor Gyokeres. And by the way, talking about Victor Gyokeres, there is something that Liverpool has to look in very well. You know, that defense of Liverpool is really lacking. That's why I've been telling people that I haven't obviously come up to feel like Liverpool is obviously going to be coming in through to obviously win this beautiful game of football. You understand? Because of their central defense and of how Arsenal are really looking good in all areas. If you asked me, one of the most balanced teams I've gone ahead to say in this league, it's Arsenal. They're having a very good goalkeeper, a very good back four, very good midfield, and the attacking line is really out of this world. But for Liverpool, they're really having a very good attacking midfield. Their front 3 is really great because it has gone ahead to score 7 goals in 2 games. That shows you that they really score a lot. Their midfield is really great, but their central defense is really crap because they've gone ahead to concede 4 in 2 games. And it shows you that Arsenal hasn't gone ahead obviously concede any of the goals, and that really that really takes you to the best of Arsenal in defending. And if Liverpool comes in through to play high line into this particular fixture. Right, everyone, sorry for that glitch, but finally we are back to obviously give you the best of presentation in here, and it's all about what we really had to. I was really trying to explain to you that Liverpool is really gonna have a very hard game to play against a club known as Arsenal. As when you look at Arsenal are really a good side that have gone ahead obviously put in a very huge shift in there altogether. And before I really bring you my prediction, guys, allow me get into what we call the stats in there for you, and they are called the head-to-head stats that you guys really need to know. You can as well buy super chat, support this channel, and you can as well become members of this beautiful channel that has obviously gone ahead obviously give you the best of the best that you're really enjoying. Now let's get to the head-to-head stats and really see who has a better start than the other, right? First and foremost, Liverpool are winless in 6 Premier League matches against Arsenal. 4 draws and 2 losses, their longest winless run against Gunners since going 8 without a win between October 2007 and April 2011. So that means in the last 6 games, Arsenal hasn't gone ahead to lose to... Arsenal hasn't obviously gone ahead to lose to a side known as Liverpool. Arsenal has beaten Liverpool twice, and Liverpool has only managed to do 4 draws, and most of those draws have gone ahead to happen at what we call the at the Anfield. Secondly, the last 3 Premier League games between Liverpool and Arsenal at Anfield have all been draw, while the Gunners are winless in their last 12 away games against the Reds since a 2-0 win back in September 2012 with manager Mikel Arteta starting for the Gunners that day. So the last 3 Premier League games between Arsenal and at Liverpool have all been drawn, while the Gunners are winless in their last 12 away games. So the Gunners haven't gone ahead to lose any game at what we call the Emirates in the last 12 games. So at the Anfield in the last 12 games, that really gives them a very upper hand when it comes to obviously claiming for what we call a result from Anfield. Thirdly, only Liverpool versus Spurs 206 has seen more goals of all the Premier League fixtures than Arsenal and Liverpool. The fixture of Arsenal and Liverpool has gone ahead to collect 198 goals since the 2015-2016 campaign. It has been the most goals of any fixture, 78 in 20 games. It shows you that this fixture has gone ahead to breed very many goals. Fourthly, this is the earliest the previous season top 2 sides are really meeting in the Premier League since 2017-2018 when Chelsea won 2-1 at Tottenham Hotspur in the second game. So this is the earliest the top 2 teams of the previous season meet, and we wait and see what will happen. Lastly, Arsenal have won their first 2 Premier League games, without conceding in 2025-2026. I've already hinted on that. In only one of their last 20 seasons have they won their first 3 games, doing so in 2022-2023. The last time the Gunners won their first 3 games without conceding in a league season was 1924-1925. So Arsenal are really coming into this wanting not to obviously concede, and if at all it happens, it will be the second time they've gone ahead to do it, and they last did it in 1924-1925. 3 games, you understand? 3 games without conceding a goal. It will be really great. But today, I don't find it okay for them not to concede. I really believe that they will obviously come in through and really concede. Now, I get into my prediction. I see a 3-3 draw between Arsenal and Liverpool. If it's a win, it's going to the side of Arsenal. That is it. I think Arsenal has all what it takes to win this game of football, as Liverpool really looks shaky and shady into that central defense. If you've gone ahead to concede against Bournemouth 2 goals at Anfield, I think Arsenal is 100% better than a team called Bournemouth when it comes to obviously attacking and the quality of players. And remember, Liverpool is going to be playing at Anfield, and they're obviously going to be opening up themselves hugely. In the due course of opening up themselves hugely, that's where a side known as Arsenal can obviously capitalize onto that. That high line that Liverpool is obviously going to be playing, Victor Gyokeres will obviously maraud well into that space. Just expect Gyokeres to obviously shock that side of Liverpool with those runs and take-ons that he really used to obviously score his first goal for Arsenal when they are playing against Leeds. It was Carafiori who just went ahead to obviously dink in that pass, and he busted into space, took off 1-2 defenders, and went ahead to hit it into the bottom corner of the goal. So anticipate such, and I think Arsenal will capitalize onto that and use that space that will be in between the 18 yards box area of Liverpool and the center line, because Liverpool, trust me, they'll play a high line. Konate is really fast, but I think Virgil van Dijk is really wearing out, and this Gyokeres guy, he might obviously capitalize onto that to see to it that he obviously threatens and really finds ways of really haunting the side of Liverpool in that way. Let me go into the comment section. Komogisha says, it is time. You're still out, boss. Arsenal 3, Liverpool 2. Jonathan Okot, Nakasongola, good day, brother. Thank you. Sam Music, good morning, bro. Good job. Thank you. Then Michael Mikedin, I don't think Arteta might start Eze. while Martinelli and Trossard are all available, and even Merino. I also had a thought, or I also have a thought that Arteta might obviously think of Mikel Merino into that midfield. I really have that thought in me that Arteta will obviously think about Mikel Merino, Zubimendi, and Declan Rice in that midfield. But my mind tells me Eberechi Eze has been playing at Anfield for some time. He's not a novice to the hostileness of the fans at Anfield. I think he deserves a go in there. Muhammadi, thanks bro, thank you. David Isoji, thanks bro for your time, thank you. Musasizi, Godfrey, I have a feeling Liverpool is gonna test its first loss tonight. And I've told you, if it's a win, it's going to Arsenal, I tell you. Zoo says, thanks for the show, big up bro, alright. Nabs King himself, thank you Mr. Aradi for the team sports news. Arsenal, the Gunners forever. Aiko Boa says, you lost bro, what's wrong? I told you the problem. Almost the entire country blacked out and the entire country never had power. That's why I've just returned back now. Joseph Paul, 2-0 in favor of Arsenal, all right. Bud says, good morning, thanks for the updates. I think it's the right time for Arsenal to show the world that the process has reached the limit and it's yielding trophies. Obviously, this season, Arsenal has to do one thing, lift trophies. DJ Draw, thanks bro for your time, but I think the best Liverpool can get is a draw because Arsenal, much better team than Liverpool this season, waiting for combined 11, coming in through after, you know. Obviously, Arsenal is a better team, and I've been arguing with people and others alike, Arsenal doesn't have the best squad, and I'm like, Arsenal and City have the best squad, you know, and when that squad of City sinks in, you'll obviously see the run they will take to obviously get beaten. They will obviously beat every team that really crosses their line. Then Cookie says, thanks for the show, bro, but I've seen Captain traveling with the team. Let me check. I only saw Eze. I've only gone ahead to see Eze. Let me see. Let me see Eze. Let me see Eze. Let me see Eze. Let me see Eze. Odegaard, right? Let me check and see whether he really went ahead to travel with the team. Oh, yep, you're right. I see him. Odegaard was part of the team that really traveled to Liverpool, meaning that it will depend. He might obviously get into that midfield and obviously do the needful to obviously put in a very huge shift in there. And if at all Odegaard is there, that means everything will change. And I don't see Eberechi Eze starting. You know, the manager might obviously get Eberechi Eze off the bench in there for you. So I've seen Odegaard in the photos traveling to Liverpool. So we wait and see how that really pans out. Thank you very much for that reminder. Right? Nathaniel Monen from Belgium, good morning, brother. Good morning, Bad. Today is the day to test which team has the best midfield. Can Carafiori, Zubimendi, and Declan Rice pivot to win Arsenal points today? By the Carafiori, keep an eye on him. He has gone ahead to score goals in big games. He scored against Man City, scored against Manchester United. Has he scored against Liverpool? He has gone ahead to score huge goals. Hello, Uncle Rokani, that's Hero. How are you, Hero? How are you? And how is LA? You know, Momba Mokombwe watching you from Zambia. Rokani, where is Raheem Sterling? I really need to do the needful. Amil Mokasa, thanks bro for the analysis. Denzo says, good morning bro. Nalubidi Franco, hey Rokani, good morning. Dennis Atta, good morning brother. Happy Sunday to you too. Then Evans from Jamaica, Victor Gyokeres is on fire, plus Eze will make his debut at Anfield. Eze is clinical. He will score goals for Arsenal. Victor Gyokeres will help make a difference. You're right. Monen, good lineup. Can Trossard and Odegaard play fit enough? Looks like they're really fit enough. And we're waiting to see whether the manager will obviously give them a go to obviously play part into this beautiful game of football. Bad says, my prediction is 2-1 in favor of Arsenal, or 1-1, and the world will wait for Max Dorman in the second half to write history at Anfield. All right, we wait and see. Evan First one, Liverpool team can be beaten. All Arsenal fans need to get behind the team. All right. Then Cherotich Ivan, good morning, my brother. Simplex Kasimba, Arsenal defense will be key. Liverpool has a leaky defense, and Arsenal will automatically score from a set piece and even on open play. All in open play. Arsenal to Liverpool 1. Now, talking of the set piece that you've gone ahead obviously talk about, you understand? The set pieces are really a very clear-cut source for the club of Arsenal in as far as goals are really concerned. The club of Arsenal has really scored 32 goals from corners. That is it. That's Arsenal for you. When you saw that goal they scored, I think they're now 33, because by the time when they scored against Man United, they went to 31, and a player known as Timber bagged in a brace through set pieces. 33 goals through set pieces. That is the club of Arsenal for you. So I tell you what, it's really gonna be an enticing game to watch. Then I'm having Osilo says, good morning, bro, good morning. Bud says, Andrea Bata has played his part more than 100%. It's now time for Arteta to prove if he's really coach who will be a legendary or a gambler, provided that he has the best squad in the world. Guys, I think Arteta has the squad, and I cannot call him a gambler because he has built Arsenal to where they are right now. And if at all I call him a gambler, then I'm really one of those who is really a hypocrite. I cannot call him a gambler because I believe in what he has gone ahead to do, and he has really done a lot in that project of Arsenal. Nathaniel Monen says 1 Liverpool to Arsenal. Opolot says, hey, any information about Piero? Piero is coming to Arsenal. Here we go, was really announced. Yesterday he said his goodbye to the side of Hoffenheim when I think they drew 3-3 with Werder Bremen. Zaya and Zywald, but Arsenal still not going to win. I think this is no. Isn't this no? Why are you really coming up and obviously are hating at Arsenal? You know, I think you hate the noise that Arsenal fans really do make, you know. So thank you. And guys, please look out for that YouTube channel, Zaya and Zaya's World. You know, some good content is there, and you can obviously find yourself doing the needful that side. So Amoto Sunday, good morning, bro. Hero comes back and says, but Arsenal won't win tomorrow. Oh my God. I know. You know, Hero supports Man City. You know, in the due course of him supporting Man City, he's like, Arsenal has to be beaten. But I think Arsenal is the best team in the league. I've always told people Arsenal is the best team in the league, you know. And today, people will witness the greatness of Arsenal, you know. I've told you my prediction is draw, a 3-3 draw, or a win for Arsenal. I don't see Liverpool winning this game. Why? They are really porous at the back. They've gone ahead to concede in very many goals, I tell you. They've gone ahead to concede in very many goals. They are really porous. And there is no way I come here to obviously see Liverpool lifting 3 points. It's possible it can happen, but I've told you, even the stats are really indicating so. Last 12 games, Arsenal hasn't lost to Liverpool. You understand? And Arsenal, in the last 6 games, Arsenal has won 2 and they've drawn 4. Now, in all those encounters, the previous encounters, Liverpool had a better squad than the club of Arsenal. You understand? And now, what do you expect to come out of this game when Arsenal is really having a much more better team than the side of Liverpool? You understand? Odegaard is back. You know, they're only missing Saka, Kai Havertz, Jesus, Nogard. You understand? And it looks like they are not really missing out on any of those players. It shows you how far they've gone ahead to improve, right? Osilo, Cristiano Arteta knows his game. He will start Eze. Guys, in this game, I have to start Eze. If I told I'm Arteta, I start Eze in there for you. Unless otherwise it's like Odegaard can play only like 45 minutes or 50 or 60, then Eze comes in through to obviously get the rest of the minutes done and dusted. Don't give them false hope. That's what Nuno is saying. Yeah, okay, let's wait and see. You people in the US, it's tomorrow, but we in Africa, it's today. It's today, and it's like 9 hours. 9 hours away. The game is going to be played 9 hours away from now. So let's wait and see. I'll come here and you let me know what the result is. Osilo says Arteta knows his game. This is I've seen Haji in here. That's hard game for Arsenal. How are you, Sopio? Hope you're really doing fine. You know, that's hard game for the club of Arsenal. So thank you for obviously coming in through, my mates. You know, those are my guys. You know, those are my guys. They are my gangos. That's what I can refer to them. Always in Clubhouse and obviously having some good jazz there. So those are my gangos. Aboaz Ndiamohaki. Thanks, Rokani. I'm here in Rwanda. Thanks for the show. And I would like Arteta to start as me too. I start as whether with Odegaard in. I start as off the left. That is it. Opolot Julius. Arsenal is going to punish Liverpool. Why? Because of the defense. Yeah, their defense is really porous. And that's why Liverpool have gone ahead, obviously, put in a bid for a man known as McGahey at Crystal Palace. And they obviously want to sign him. And Crystal Palace has to sell the lad because the lad is left with just 1 year on his contract. And that's why they are willing to bag in £35 million for Gahey. And I've already told you, for me to count Liverpool onto this trophy, they have to get in a defender and a player known as Alexander Isak. If Liverpool completes those two signings, you know, those two signings in these remaining 2 days for the summer transfer window to close, I'll come out and tell you Arsenal and Liverpool are the favorites. But right now, it's Arsenal and City for me are the favorites to obviously win the league. Klein says, I'm not being biased, but Arsenal is breaking the cast today. A very tight win. Either a 1-0 or a 2-1. All right. No. I don't know which team you support. No, which team do you support? You are like Toba Pika. Like, don't overhype them. I know they will do the needful. Muzora Eli, Arsenal 5. Oh my God, Liverpool 1. I cannot really think this result can obviously happen in the game of football. And its chance to happen is 0.0001% to happen. You know? Such big games can obviously turn out, get such humiliating results, but I don't see it in this game. Even if Liverpool really gets a red card, I don't really see it happen. But remember, last season, Hero can tell you what happened at the Emirates. You know what happened at the Emirates? Man City got annihilated, and 5 goals were put past their net. You understand? Ashi Media TV, thanks, bro, but kindly don't leave us like this again. I told you the problem. The entire country almost never had power for days. And when power really came back, it couldn't last for 10 minutes. You know, it comes back, it goes off, you know. So I was like, let me relax and float when everything is done and dusted. And when it's settled in, I'll obviously come back and really present. Then Agriculture World Happiness. Hi, Rokan. I don't see Ekitike threatening Arsenal defense like he threatened those young players. Even midfield, I don't see Wits doing what he has been doing. He still has more to work. Arsenal win. Now, don't underestimate Ekitike. Ekitike is a talented player, technically gifted, hold up and link up play, all great. He ticks all the boxes of a perfect striker and a complete football player. And I tell you what, he can win this game single-handedly. And I tell you, the defense of Arsenal is obviously going to have hard times to really defend this lad. Why? He is known that striker that is going to be like Gyokeres, waiting for that ball to come in. That's not Ekitike Hugo. Hugo will drift to the left, drift to the right, drift centrally, and his mobility might cause problems to the likes of Gabriel Magalhaes and the other guy known as Saliba. You remember how Cunha went ahead to obviously try to destabilize that Arsenal defense. Anticipate such from Hugo Ekitike. Very good player. Don't underestimate his efforts to obviously come and really disorganize that club of Arsenal. Sorry, that central defense. He's really good. He's really good. And in a blink of an eye, he can obviously create a moment of magic and really score that goal. You know, in tight spaces, that's where he operates best. And you'll tell me, Agriculture, please, not my words. Hugo Ekitike is a deadly guy. He's really deadly, and he's one of those that can obviously give us a hard time at that stadium of Anfield. Klein says, as long as Arsenal score a 2-goal margin, I'm very convinced Liverpool cannot score more than 2 in this Arsenal defense. I think Liverpool can score more than 2. That is it. Arsenal can score more than 2. Liverpool can score more than 2. That is it. But I think it will depend on how these two teams really defend. And the win will depend on how Liverpool defends and how Arsenal defends. But I think Arsenal have mastered the art of defending. And remember, Arsenal do have the set pieces. In the set pieces, they've gone ahead to humiliate very many big teams all over the world. So we wait and see how that happens. Abbas says, I have a personal prediction for this game. Please drop it in. Gaston says, today is our day because I'm seeing Arsenal beating Liverpool for 3-0 because the Liverpool defense is not good at all. Oh, I don't think that Arsenal can keep a clean sheet against Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal can keep a clean sheet against Liverpool. That is it. I don't see them keep a clean sheet. I see a goal, they call it a goals galore, right? Both teams will obviously score, and one who defends better will find himself really winning this. Ash Media TV, but bro, talk about Man United though. We are Arsenal fans, but we need our rivals in this, Amorim lacks taxi to defend. Guys, from here, I'm heading to United Matters channel, Ash Media TV. Subscribe to United Matters channel. That's where we talk Manchester United. I'm obviously going to be launching another live stream talking about that narrow win of Man United yesterday at Burnley. I'm obviously going to be talking about it. Hero is laughing. I don't know why she's laughing. Then Juma Abbas says his prediction is 2 Liverpool, Arsenal. It's also possible. And let me break my predictions into percentages. For draw, 50%. I see a draw for this game. An Arsenal win, I see a 30% Arsenal win. You understand? For a Liverpool win, it's a 20%, So a draw, 50%. I see a draw in this game. Liverpool win, 20%. Arsenal win, 30%. Client says, we can take advantage of Liverpool. Number 10 Vats. He has not settled in Liverpool squad. He might also be lost in this game. Let me tell you, players like Vats raise up on such big moments. If you've been seeing him, he's a big game player. And in a game like this, he might obviously raise up to the occasion and shock everyone. I tell you, Vats is good. He's good, and he is really learning the Premier League. And don't really downplay his efforts against us. And he can come in through and really shock you through away. Paulie Zeus says, what's your say on Mbuemo's Kabuto? He can't sprint. Oh my God. Now, that is body shaming, my brother. Paulie, that is body shaming. You're body shaming the guy. And good enough, we went ahead and obviously scored his first goal for Manchester United. So let's not really body shame the guy. But his body structure, for me, is not the problem. It's all about him really starting to obviously put in a very huge shift at Manchester United and mastering his craft like he did at Brentford. Though he's at a team that is really lacking a lot of things in that front three. Arsenal is going to humiliate Man City. Oh, not today. That fixture is coming in through after the international break. Right. Paulie says 4-3-3 is the best formation to destroy Liverpool. Yeah, thank you. You're right. Klein says, again, Liverpool right back is a position we can take advantage as Frimpong is still out. But that's not something that you should come here and obviously brag about. Why? Frimpong is not good defensively. He's good offensively. He doesn't balance the two very well. But Conor Bradley, who is coming in through, he is really a hard rock, and he's really fast, and he balances the two very well. So I think Frimpong not being a variable is a blessing in disguise for the side of Liverpool, to see to it that that side is not really used as an avenue or turned into an avenue by the side of Arsenal, because Conor Bradley is good, defensively and even going forward, and is really hard, and is really a Premier League used player. But Frimpong is just getting used to the Premier League. Imagine Frimpong facing off a player known as Gabriel Martinelli or Eberechi Eze. Do you know how he would have gone ahead to be roasted? And I tell you what, the injury has gone ahead to save him. they would have gone ahead to cook him, roast him, and really get him back to Leverkusen where he obviously came from. Because Martinelli is fast, Trossard skilled, Eberechi Eze. Oh my, I don't even have the best word to describe what he's actually going to be doing to this guy. So please, I want to let you know that if you think Frimpong being out is an advantage, no way. It's a blessing, this guy is for the side of Liverpool. Okay, no. Arsenal is the best team in the league. I'll tell you this. Arsenal is the best team in the league. Abu says, you can start Eze, but not in the middle. Eze will start from the flank now that Odegaard is available. But I tell you what, anywhere he obviously starts from, good. Oh, a super chat has gone to come in through, and thank you very much. That is Haji Abbas has gone to obviously buy in a super chat. Thank you, my brother. So if at all you feel like you want to support this channel, buy super chats on this channel, like how Abbas has gone ahead to do. You buy super chats, and that's how you can support us. Thank you. He has obviously gone ahead to throw in some $7. Thank you, my brother, for the super chat. Then Zaya says Arsenal. Then Polly says Pep's football is over. It's not yet over, Polly. Just, he's really not having a very good start, but I know his team is really clicking in. When it sinks in, he'll obviously do the needful. Hero brings bad luck to Man City. I don't think this will go on well to Hero, Hero brings in bad luck. Juma says, can't see any clean sheet in that. You're right. No clean sheet is obviously going to be in this game. It's obviously going to be an over. And if at all I'm really that person who is going to bet, I would go in for an over, 2 goals plus, because that is really hugely anticipated in this fixture. Komugisha says, so you mean in USA the game is going to be tomorrow? We shall tell them final results so they bet. No, like different time zones, the game will play at the same time, but in the US, it will be totally different time. You understand? But it will be played at the same time. What's the future of Man City? Future of Man City, I think it's bright. It's bright. Because when you look at Rangers, Ryan Cherki, actually Nori, they've gone ahead to bring in which other player? The Nico Gonzalez's of this world, Mamosh. It's all about those players coming together and obviously forming a team. The FIFA Club World Cup really did them well, but I think they haven't gone ahead to sink in. That game of Spurs that saw them get beaten by 2-0 really went ahead, obviously also shocked me, because I thought that City could obviously overcome them. Though I had really warned City fans of how this Spurs team had obviously gone ahead to beat them without a manager known as Thomas Frank, who at Brentford also was obviously beating City. And I told them they need to obviously observe it. But I think the way they conceded those two goals, oh my, Trafford really went ahead to give a ball away. That's why they're obviously bringing Donnarumma. But I think you can only see the future of the team in the first 10 games of the season. So these are just 2 games. City is playing today. Let's wait and see what City really brings on the table. Klein says, having Sobaslai out of the midfield as he will play as a right back gives my team an upper hand. By the way, I will come here and really call the manager of Liverpool a hero if at all he starts Sobaslai as a right back. I'll obviously call him a hero if at all he does that, because I don't really see that happen. You understand? How can you get Sobaslai to play as a right back when Arsenal is having 3 dangerous forwards? Eze, Trossard, and Martinelli. I think they'll cook him. They'll obviously go past him and send him back to RB Leipzig. That is it. Polly says 2-1 in favor of Arsenal. All right. Hero says, Polly. Then Sulaiman says, alright, Arsenal will win, but it's not an easy game. It's not an easy game. It's really hard, but I think Arsenal really has an edge. Hero, these kicks of a dying horse, man. City is done. Old lady. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. City is an old lady. Polly, City is going to obviously shock you. Just give it time. Let's come back here 10 games after the season. 10 games into the season. We will see where City will be in there. Chelsea, the team you support, is also doing great. Yesterday, they went ahead to win by 2-0. Chelsea is also good, and I think they've put themselves in a better position to compete for the league. Ivan says, good morning, brother. Thanks for representing. I'm seeing 2 win in favor of Arsenal. 1 goal from Magalhaes and Gyokeres. Best wins. Oh, Gabriel Magalhaes. That means a set piece, right? Faith Okello, hey Aradi, thank you. Vits to score, says Abbas. All right. Yeah. I told one of an Arsenal fan who was here dissing him, telling him that please, this boy raises up on big occasions. And guess what? He will obviously raise up today. He might be one of the shockers that will obviously come in through to send Arsenal back to London crying. You understand? For me, Arsenal will win by 2-1. That is Flyman. Paulie says Saliba is gonna pocket Salah. Oh, I don't think so. Salah plays as a right forward, and I think Carafiori will obviously be taking on Salah, right? But Salah, where your statement really comes in to be valid is Liverpool plays with 3 forwards who are really very dynamic and mobile. Salah can shift and play as a center forward, and Ekitike drifts to the left. So, in that sense of mind, obviously Salah might obviously face a man known as Saliba. And in most cases, you know how Liverpool really plays. Liverpool tried to obviously hit Arsenal on the break, and who is the fastest defender in that central defense of Arsenal? It's Saliba, meaning that Saliba will obviously have to track him back. You are right in that perspective. Faith Ronald Okello, it's about 90 minutes plus, all right? Nabs, the king himself, Liverpool 1, Arsenal 3. Polizus, why did Man City lose last weekend? Poor first goal, poor defending. You know, that high line was really beaten. You know, second goal, poor goalkeeping. Trafford found himself in a position of really not doing the due diligence, of really putting in a very huge show in there to see to it that he gave out, or he gifted a goal. And if City was leading, or if City was losing by 1-0, I think they would have gone to find it easy to get back into that so-called game. But the moment they found themselves in a position of not really getting that or maintaining that 1-0 loss, when it went to 2, it was really hard for them. And shockingly, Tottenham Hotspur that beat City at Etihad last weekend got beaten yesterday badly. And guys, smash the like button. We're having close to 100 people watching in through, and only 43 have gone into smash the like button. Smash the like button, and you can as well we've gotten a second super chat, guys. Thank you for obviously supporting this channel. So buy more super chats to show support and love to this channel. Then Faith Okello, but with Eze on the left and Madueke on the right, Victor Gyokeres as the center forward. Yeah. Peter says, Rokani, consider M-Pesa payment when someone joins the channel. This is our mother channel. We have to support it whatever. I'm from Kenya. Oh, but I think there is a way you can obviously do the needful, right? M-Pesa. All right. I'll think about it to get that M-Pesa line and see how things really pan out in there. Juma Bass says, how about Fantasy PL? By the way, there is a channel where we do fantasy. It's called the Fantasy View Global. You know, that's where fantasy gets up and running. So, Fantasy View Global. I'm obviously going to be posting the link here. Right? Fantasy. All right. We are back. We are back. So, I was still telling you about the Fantasy View Global YouTube channel that you're really having, and I was like, I'm obviously going to be pinning it up into the so let me pin it up there. So guys, this is our channel, so please let's pin. I've gone ahead to pin it up there. So do the needful, follow it up. After following it up, you will obviously get everything concerning fantasy that you really want. So please do the needful and really follow up that channel. We do fantasy there, and if at all you enjoy fantasy, that's the home of fantasy in there. So please do the needful, follow that link, and subscribe, please. You know, we are having like 40 subscribers. I want to see close to 1,000 subscribers by the end of today, because I know that we really have a very huge crowd base in here, because we are soon hitting 30,000 followers in here. So please do the needful and really subscribe. I've gone ahead to pin that link in there for you. Where was I? All right. Then Polly, Sky Blue are no longer a threat to. All right, thank you. Then Faith says it's 3-2 nil, 3-2 win in favor of Arsenal. Then Liverpool 0 Arsenal 2 says Mensa. Then Zakaria says Rokani Arsenal will win the game. Then Agriculture World Happiness Bro, today we shall work on Liverpool. They not yet up to the level. All right. Then all right, no, thank you. Then Hero says, all right. Polly says Man City is now Lost City. Oh. Big banter, big banter. And leave City alone. That's Hero. Faith says Victor Gyokeres hat-trick day. It's possible, but it's really hard to put a hat-trick against Liverpool, because if I might ask you, which player do you last remember to ever score a hat-trick against Liverpool? Tell me who that player do you think was? You know, I don't remember. At Manchester United, I remember this lad, Dimitar Berbatov, went ahead to score a hat-trick against them. You know, Thierry Henry has ever put a hat-trick against them. But in the recent past, I haven't gone ahead to see Liverpool concede 3 goals, by the way. You know, when did you last see Liverpool concede 3 goals? Apart from this season where they're averaging 2 goals, you know, in per game. Faith Okello, live from Turkey, regards to you. All right, thank you. I pray we will not see. All right. My network is really having issues, but we'll try to proceed and really try to end this live. Thanks, bro, for your time and effort. All right, that is David Sozi. Renson says Andre Arshavin. Yeah, you're right. Andre Arshavin. I think, did he even score 4? Did he put 4 past them? You know, David says, yesterday, bro, where we were waiting for you, right? I'm here. Polizus, where are the Arsenal fans who are going to get humiliated? It's gonna be one-way traffic. 7-0. Oh, Polly says Arsenal obviously swallows 7 in there. So they says Arsenal 3, Liverpool 0. Nelly Kelly, today Arsenal will turn Liverpool into we play well FC. United 3-2. Then Polly says Hero said United was lucky yesterday. Obviously it was luck. It was luck, and we almost lost that game. Friday Herbert, is the match live here? Obviously here we come up with the match day live, and we also come up with what we call the match reaction. That is it. Then Klein says, bro, your network is unstable. Yeah, it's really unstable. Yeah, that's what you get when you're obviously coming from the Pearl of Africa, right? Polly says Friday, the match is live in Grandma's Chicken today. What do you mean? Alrighty, thank you for your information. That is Dennis Bogere. That's Hero disconnecting your network, Man City fan. All right, guys, I think we're going to have to have a very good time in here. For everyone that's going to obviously buy in super chats, thank you very much. I've gone ahead to hugely appreciate that. And please continue to obviously subscribe to this channel, and also go ahead and obviously subscribe to what we call the Fantasy View Global, because in there, you'll obviously get to know about fantasy. And so far, we've gone ahead to get some 5 subscribers, you know, onto the Fantasy View Global. And thank you guys for subscribing in through. Continue to subscribe as more content is obviously going to be loading that side. Hope you guys are really going to be enjoying this. And this is what we've gone ahead to do. The match preview is really in here. So guys, please, from here, we are going to what we call the United Matters channel. We're obviously going to be discussing Man United, their win, and what we think really went right and what really went wrong. For everyone who has been part of this channel, please subscribe. I sign out for now. See you later. Bright Emmanuel. Andre Arshavin scored 4 past Liverpool. Yeah, I really remember that very well. And I think there is even a day Julio Baptista went ahead obviously scored some huge goals against Liverpool when he was on loan from Real Madrid. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I sign out for now. See you later. Let's meet at the United Matters channel, another live stream that people are really hugely waiting for, because they're like, Rokani, you have an agenda over the manager of Manchester United, and we want to see your thoughts onto what you think about yesterday's result. And I'm really okay with that. But that is my probable starting 11. We out. See you. Laters. Let this run. The lineup, let it run. And when it's done, we're obviously going to be calling it a day. Early morning. And in my country, it's 10 a.m. And we are just alive and we are kicking in here. And we thank God for that. So that is the 4-3-3 system that Arsenal is taking in here for you. And guys, let's meet at the United Matters channel. But continue to really subscribe to the Fantasy View Global, because a lot of content is obviously going to be dropping in there for you concerning fantasy. I'm out.